Today, I want you to breathe and remember something profound. What you desire is already complete, not being prepared, not slowly forming, but finished, fully formed, in the unseen, waiting for you to meet it. Every desire that rises within you is not a request, it is a revelation. It reveals what already exists for you in a higher dimension. You are not trying to create anything. You are only awakening to what has already been created for you. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine the version of you who already has what you want: the relationship, the abundance, the health, the success, the peace. See that version. Feel that version. Become that version in consciousness. Because the moment you do, your world must obey. Your imagination is not a fantasy. It is the spiritual workshop where all things take shape. What you assume as true with feeling becomes the law of your life. The outer world has no choice but to reflect your inner conviction. So if you've been waiting, worrying, doubting, or wondering when will it happen, stop. The question is not when. The question is who. Who are you being right now? Are you the version of yourself who hopes, or the version who knows? Because the one who knows receives. There is a point in your journey where you stop praying from lack and start declaring from fulfillment, where you stop asking and start accepting, where you stop begging and begin embodying. That is when everything shifts. That is when the bridge of events begins to unfold. And hear me clearly, your manifestation has already entered your reality. The moment you assumed it in consciousness, the moment you claimed it as done, the moment you felt it real, the entire universe began rearranging itself to deliver that reflection into your physical world. You may not see it yet, you may not feel the full weight of it, but the roots have already broken through the soil of the unseen. The evidence is moving toward you. The people, the opportunities, the alignments, the timing, it's all being orchestrated with precision. Your only job now is to assume the state of the one who already has it. Walk like it's done. Think like it's done. Feel like it's done. Give thanks like it's done. And watch how quickly your reality bends to match your inner knowing. Do not chase, do not force, do not doubt. You do not manifest by effort, you manifest by identity. When you become the version of you who has the thing has no choice but to appear. So today, let this truth settle deep within you. It is done. Already done. Completed. Finished. All you are doing now is aligning, receiving, and stepping into the version of reality that has been waiting for you all along. Your manifestation is not coming, it's arriving. It's unfolding. It's entering your world right now. Live from the end, and the end will show up. Because in the realm of consciousness, you already have it. Creation begins in imagination, because your inner world is the true birthplace of every experience you will ever live. Long before something becomes visible, long before it enters the physical dimension, it first exists as an idea, a picture, a feeling, an inner assumption. Your imagination is not a passive daydreaming tool. It is the most powerful creative force you possess. It is the workshop where the unseen becomes inevitable. When you imagine something with conviction, you are not hoping for it, you are forming it. You are shaping the structure of your reality on an invisible level. Everything you have ever experienced began as an image within someone's mind. Every home, every invention, every relationship, every achievement, every breakthrough. All of it existed in imagination before it existed in matter. What makes imagination so powerful is that it bypasses limitations. It doesn't ask, how will this happen? It doesn't require physical proof. It doesn't need permission, resources, or validation. Imagination simply creates, it generates the end result instantly, with no resistance, no delay, no obstacles. And the moment you hold that inner picture with feeling, you give it life. You breathe energy into it. You begin a chain reaction that the physical world must eventually follow. Your outer world is not independent of you, it is a mirror. It reflects the assumptions you persistently hold within. When you imagine with conviction, you are not merely fantasizing, you are instructing the universe. You are sending out a blueprint of the reality you expect to experience. The universe responds not to your wishes, but to your inner certainty. It never mirrors what you want, it mirrors what you know to be true in imagination. When the inner world becomes more real to you than the outer world, the outer must change. It has no choice because it is the effect, not the cause. This is why imagination must be felt. A picture without emotion is just a thought. But a picture infused with belief, gratitude, and felt completion becomes a creative command. Feeling is the magnet. Feeling is the energy that turns an inner image into a physical manifestation. When you imagine the end result and feel the satisfaction of having it now, you step into the identity of the one who already possesses it. Once your identity shifts, your reality must shift to match it. The beautiful truth is that imagination frees you from the constraints of time. In imagination, everything is now. There is no waiting, no distance, no separation between you and your desire. You can experience the end in perfect detail, the sounds, the emotions, the surroundings, the reactions. And the moment you do, you claim it as yours. Your mind doesn't distinguish between what is physically seen and what is vividly imagined. It accepts both as reality. And once your mind accepts the imagined end as true, life begins to orchestrate the path, the people, the circumstances, the timing that bring it into physical expression. So when you imagine with conviction, you are not pretending. You are creating. You are stepping into the role of the architect of your own life, shaping the unseen foundation upon which your future will be built. Imagination is not the beginning of creation, it is the creation. The physical world is only the final confirmation of what you have already made real within. Desire is not a sign of lack. It is evidence of completion. The moment a desire rises within you, it is not something you must chase, earn, or struggle to create. It is a signal from the deeper part of your being that what you want is already formed in the unseen. Desire is the bridge between what already exists in a higher dimension and your awareness of it in this one. You do not desire what is impossible for you. You do not desire what is absent. You only desire what is already yours in another state of consciousness. Think of desire as a spiritual announcement. When you feel the pull towards something, A vision, a dream, a relationship, a lifestyle, a level of abundance. That pull is not random. It is the echo of fulfillment calling you toward itself. The desire appears only because the completion has already been established on an inner plane. It is your soul saying, "This is the next version of you. Step into it." You are not trying to create the manifestation. You are aligning with the version of yourself who is already living it. Nothing within you longs for something that doesn't belong to you. The universe is not cruel. It does not show you the possibility without simultaneously preparing the path. If a desire sparks within, it means the way has already been made. The outcome is already secure. Your desire is the signpost pointing to what is done. What you call a dream is actually memory. Memory from the unseen realm where the fulfillment already exists in completion. This is why desire feels magnetic. It pulls you. It won't let you rest. It keeps revealing itself because it already belongs to you. The desire persists not to torment you, but to keep you aligned with the higher version of your own being. It's not asking you to figure out the how. It's only asking you to accept the truth that if you desire it, you are meant for it. The how will unfold once you accept the inner completion. Most people misunderstand desire. They think desire means something is missing, something they don't have. But the deeper truth is the opposite. Desire means it is already done. You feel desire because your inner reality and your outer reality are no longer in harmony. The inner you knows something the outer you has not yet seen. That tension creates desire, the longing to bridge the gap between your current identity and your fulfilled identity. When you understand this, desire becomes sacred instead of stressful. You stop chasing and start receiving. You stop begging and start allowing. You stop looking outside and start listening within. The moment you honor a desire as proof of fulfillment, you shift into the state of expectancy. And expectancy is the doorway through which manifestations enter the physical world. So let your desires reassure you. Let them remind you that life has already agreed with what you want. You are being guided toward what is yours. The desire is the evidence. The completion is already waiting. All you must do is align with it, accept it, and allow the outer world to reveal what has already been declared true within. To assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled is to step into the reality of your desire before it appears physically. It means choosing to feel now what you would naturally feel if your desire were already accomplished. This is not pretending, and it is not self-delusion. It is the most powerful creative act you can perform. Feeling is the bridge because emotion is the language of the subconscious mind, and the subconscious is the birthplace of all manifestation. When you embody the emotional state of the fulfilled wish, you are instructing your inner world to create conditions that match that feeling. Most people wait for physical evidence before they allow themselves to feel satisfied, grateful, secure, or joyful. But manifestation works in the opposite direction. The outer world does not create your inner feelings. Your inner feelings create the outer world. When you feel the end result as real, your subconscious accepts that feeling as truth. Once accepted, it begins to reorganize your beliefs, your self-concept, your behaviors, and even your external circumstances to match that inner assumption. It draws people, opportunities, timing, and events into alignment with the state you have already claimed internally. Assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled requires imagination and faith, but not effort. You do not need to strain or force the feeling. Instead, you gently sink into the emotional atmosphere of already having what you want. If your desire is wealth, you feel the ease and security of abundance. If your desire is love, you feel cherished and connected. If your desire is healing, you feel wholeness and vitality. The key is not to visualize perfectly or repeat affirmations endlessly. The key is to feel the reality of the fulfilled desire in your body, even if only for a few moments at a time. This feeling becomes the seed of your manifestation. Every time you return to it, you water that seed. You reinforce the inner state that must eventually be reflected outward. The feeling is the cause, the physical manifestation is the effect. In truth, you are not waiting for the desire. The desire is waiting for you to feel it real. Once you shift your inner emotional state, you step into the identity of the person who already has the manifestation. An identity is destiny. You experience in life not what you want, but who you are being. The beauty of assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled is that it frees you from the need to control the how or when. You no longer search for signs because the feeling itself becomes the sign. You no longer worry about timing because you already feel the completion. You are not hoping, wishing, or wanting. You are knowing. And this inner knowing begins to shape your world quietly, subtly, inevitably. When you live from the feeling of the fulfilled desire, you are no longer aligned with lack. You are aligned with completion. You stop reacting to the world and start creating from within. And the moment your inner world stabilizes in that state, the physical world must catch up. The bridge between the invisible and the visible is built by emotion, the emotion of already having what you desire. This is the secret. This is the power. This is the path by which the unseen becomes seen. The unseen is more real than the seen, because everything in your physical world is a delayed reflection of what has already taken place within you. Your inner world, your thoughts, beliefs, assumptions, emotions, and imaginal acts, is the true source of every experience you encounter. The physical world is not the cause, it is the effect. It is a mirror that can only reflect what you persistently accept as true inside yourself. Most people misunderstand this and try to change the mirror instead of changing the face that stands before it. They fight circumstances, resist conditions, and struggle with outer situations, forgetting that all of these are shadows cast by the inner state they continue to occupy. Your imagination, your conviction, and your inner dialogue create the structure of your life long before you see the results. You are constantly generating unseen causes in the quiet of your mind, the things you repeat to yourself, the identity you accept, the fears you dwell on, the desires you nurture, the emotional atmosphere you carry. All of this creates the blueprint that your outer world must follow. Nothing happens externally that wasn't first formed internally. Every breakthrough, every challenge, every victory, every setback, it all originates in consciousness. Because if it happens, it's what the unseen is more real because it is the original. The seen is simply the copy. Your inner assumptions are the laws that govern your reality. If you assume that life works out for you, it will. If you assume that you are loved, opportunities appear that reflect that assumption. If you assume that abundance is natural for you, your world rearranges to confirm your expectation. Conversely, if you assume struggle, rejection, or limitation, the outer world will faithfully mirror that too. The mirror does not argue, it does not judge, it does not choose, it simply reflects. When you understand that the unseen is the true cause, you stop being intimidated by appearances. You stop reacting to circumstances as if they have final authority over your life. You understand that what you see now is merely the physical residue of previous thoughts and assumptions, echoes of states you have already moved through. This gives you incredible power because it means that no matter what the outer world shows you, you can always create a different inner state, and the outer world must eventually catch up. The moment you shift your inner world, the outer begins to rearrange. People act differently, opportunities emerge, obstacles dissolve, timelines shift, synchronicities appear. It may seem sudden or miraculous, but all of it stems from the unseen change you made within yourself. Reality bends to your inner state, not the other way around. This is why the most important work you will ever do is internal. The world outside of you is only ever responding to the world inside of you. When you master your inner assumptions, you master your life. When you honor the unseen as the real power, you stop chasing results and start cultivating states of being. Everything you desire already exists in potential form within the unseen. Your job is to align with it internally until the outer world has no choice but to reflect it back to you. Persistence is the force that shapes reality, because it is through sustained inner conviction that the outer world is compelled to reorganize itself. When you persist in the assumption of your desired outcome, even when physical evidence contradicts it, you are demonstrating mastery over appearances. You are affirming that your inner world has greater authority than anything your senses currently perceive. Persistence is not about effort, struggle, or forcing something to happen. It is about refusing to abandon the state of the wish fulfilled. It is the quiet, unwavering decision to remain loyal to the inner truth you have accepted, no matter what the outer world shows you. Meanwhile, the greatest sages are not those who forget. The greatest teachers are not those. Most people allow their environment to dictate their beliefs. They look at what is happening around them and shape their inner assumptions based on those circumstances. But true creators reverse this process. Instead of letting reality influence their inner state, they allow their inner state to influence reality. Persistence is the bridge between the unseen assumption and the seen manifestation. It keeps you aligned with the end result until the world mirrors your conviction. When you persist, you are not trying to overpower the world, you are simply refusing to be moved by temporary appearances. You understand that the physical world is slow-moving and delayed, reacting only after your inner world has stabilized. So, even when circumstances seem unchanged or even get worse, persistence means you do not shift your assumption. You continue to believe, imagine, and feel the fulfillment of your desire because you know that your assumption is the real cause. And the seen world is just the echo. There is extraordinary power in this. Your persistence tells the subconscious mind that your desire is non-negotiable. And once the subconscious accepts something as true, it sets in motion every necessary event, encounter, and circumstance to bring it into your physical experience. People may call it luck, coincidence, or divine timing, but the truth is much simpler. It was your persistence that summoned the manifestation. Persistence also transforms you internally. As you hold the assumption of the fulfilled wish, you gradually become the version of yourself who has the desire. Your thoughts shift, your emotions shift, your habits shift, your self-concept evolves. When you embody this new identity consistently, the external world has no choice but to align with it. Reality bends to your internal transformation. The greatest challenge is ignoring appearances that contradict your desire. But those appearances are not final. They are simply remnants of old assumptions. They fade as soon as you refuse to give them power. When you persist, you withdraw your attention from the old reality and feed the new one with your focus and feeling. What you feed grows. Persistence is not a battle, it is devotion. It is choosing your inner truth over outer illusions. It is choosing the end result over temporary setbacks. It is choosing the unseen completion over the seen delay. And when you persist long enough for your inner state to become natural, the manifestation appears effortlessly, inevitably, in perfect timing. Your manifestation is not something that needs to be built, achieved, or attracted. It is already done. The moment the desire arose within you, its completion was established in the unseen. You are not waiting for the universe to create it. The universe is waiting for you to align with it. Manifestation is not a process of bringing something from nothing. It is a process of stepping into the version of yourself that is already living the reality you want. Everything you seek already exists in consciousness, fully formed, complete, and ready for you to embody. When you understand that your manifestation is finished, your entire approach to life changes. You stop chasing results. You stop begging for signs. You stop wondering when it will come. Instead, you begin to realize that you are moving toward an already completed outcome, not trying to force one into existence. Every thought, every decision, every emotional shift is guiding you closer to the version of yourself who has already received what you desire. This version of you is not theoretical. It exists in the quantum field of infinite possibilities, and your state of being determines which version you merge with. You do not manifest through effort, you manifest through identity. If you continue to see yourself as the one who wants, waits, or hopes, you remain in the state of lack. But the moment you shift into the identity of the one who has, everything accelerates. Your thoughts change naturally. Your behaviors align effortlessly. Opportunities that match your fulfilled state begin to appear without struggle. The world reflects your inner conclusion. This is why feeling is so important. When you feel the desire fulfilled, you are not imagining something that might happen. You are tuning into what is already done. Think of it like tuning a radio. The station you want is already broadcasting. You simply adjust your frequency until you receive its signal. Your manifestation is broadcasting. Your job is to tune yourself to the reality where it already exists. You do this by assuming the end, feeling the completion, and moving as though it is true now. This alignment creates a shift that the outer world cannot ignore. People begin to respond to you differently. Circumstances start to rearrange. Invitations, ideas, and sudden changes begin to appear. These are not random. They are the natural consequences of entering the state where your desire is already a fact. You are meeting what you have already created, step by step, moment by moment. The more you embody the version of yourself who already has the manifestation, the faster the physical world adjusts. It may feel magical, but it is simply the law. The outer must conform to the inner. When you finally release the idea of waiting and embrace the truth of completion, you dissolve resistance. You stop blocking the flow. You let the manifestation enter your world in the smoothest, most natural way. So remind yourself, you are not trying to make something happen. You are moving into alignment with what is already yours. You are walking toward the version of yourself that has been calling you. Your manifestation is not on the way. You are on the way to it. It is finished. It is done. And you are simply stepping into the reality that has been prepared for you all along. As we bring this message to a close, remember this truth. Everything you desire is not somewhere in the distant future. It is already done. Every vision, every dream, every wish you hold in your heart exists right now in the unseen. Your role is not to chase it, struggle for it, or demand it from the outside world. Your role is to assume it, feel it, and align with the version of yourself who already possesses it. The outer world will follow the inner reality you steadfastly maintain. Persistence, imagination, and feeling the end result are your keys to unlocking this truth. Step confidently into the reality that awaits you, knowing that what you have imagined and felt as true will manifest. Thank you for listening, for opening your mind, and for taking the first step toward living from the end. Your manifestation is ready, your reality is shifting, and your fulfilled life is waiting for you.